Hey friends, welcome back to my Practically Imperfect Life. I am so excited because I've spent the last couple of days poring over the newest curriculum release from Guest Hollow, and that is their Junior Modern American History program. So this is a middle grades curriculum designed mostly for students who are in 4th through 8th grade. And you might wonder why, as someone who has been talking about her journey through high school and homeschooling, why I'm so excited about a middle school curriculum. Well, I will get there, but I'm just excited to share it because we have really just changed the way we have approached history by using the Guest Hollow programs. My kids have gone through cultures and geography. We've gone through Whirlwind World History. We've done American History Year 1, which is early American history. My son, who is a senior, is going to be doing modern American history for high schoolers. And my daughter did the government and econ personal finance course, which my son will also be doing next year, and has just really changed the way that we approach history and our enjoyment of history. Guest Hollow curriculum is unique, and if this is your first time hearing about them, I'll give you just kind of a brief idea on what to expect, but I want to show you some things from this curriculum and then explain what part of it I am pulling forward for my high schooler to use this year. So their curriculum is a downloadable program. So you get what is called the schedule, and the schedule is going to lay out everything for you. What books and resources you need to gather, where you can find videos and printables, what sections of what books to read, what sections of an online textbook or a downloadable textbook, if the program includes it, you read each day, activity suggestions, things you can do for science and writing and field trips and games. I mean, all kinds of different options for you. It truly is what they call the buffet, because you pick and choose what you're going to do. If you try to do all of it, you will be doing school forever. But what you do is you go through and you pick and choose things for each week that you want to do. If you have a week where time allows you to do more, do more. And if time is tight and you need to do less, do less. You can truly take all of these resources they've gathered together and organized for you and use it in the way that works best for you. So with the Junior Modern American History, you do get their downloadable schedule, and it's a really fantastic resource. Now, you also get access to a textbook that is written by Jennifer Guest, so one of the founders of Guest Hollow. She always tries to find a good, what we call spine book for her curriculum, something that's kind of like the main book that your student reads from the most and reads most weeks. That's kind of like the core of the curriculum. But she could not find one for middle grades that went with modern American history. And I don't blame her. I'm sure she searched hundreds and hundreds of books, but there really isn't a whole lot written about modern American history for that age level. So much of the history curriculum that you can find is ancient civilizations, early American history, and a little bit about cultures. And that's really about it. There's very few modern American history studies for that age level. And so she decided she was going to take on the monumental task of writing a textbook. And boy, did she write a textbook. When you purchase this curriculum, you get the textbook included. It comes as a downloadable PDF. You can download it as one big chunk, or you can download it into 4 parts, kind of split up per quarter, depending on, your computer and your processing speed and your internet and all that. So I downloaded the whole shebang, and I was flipping through it, and I thought, this is fantastic. It's fantastic. Now, age-wise, it is written for middle grade reading level. So is it easier reading for my high school student? Yes. But the book is amazing. It's almost 800 pages. I mean, it's huge, and it is filled with all kinds of great things. So I don't want to give away too much of the book, but I took a couple of screenshots to show you just some of the things that I really love about it. First of all, it is organized to go right along with the curriculum. So it tells you that this reading section goes with week 1, day 1, or week 10, day 3. It's right there on the pages for you. So you can see what it is you're supposed to be reading and when. So you can tell your students to read certain pages, or you could just have them bookmark it in the book. The colors and the graphics are fantastic. My son is a very big visual learner. He likes to see pictures and diagrams and images, and just straight reading with like no pictures, no interruptions, no nothing, it gets really tedious for him really quickly. And so this will definitely be something that will be visually engaging. The other thing I really like are these little add-ons that she put in the book here, such as the llama translations. There are primary source documents included, excerpts from the Constitution, excerpts from speeches and things like that. But when you read those, especially as a 4th through 8th grader, you might not grasp exactly what is being said there. And so she has these little sections with this cute little llama graphic that are the llama translations that basically reword it in a way that 4th through 8th graders can understand. There are also these rabbit trails, because we talk about rabbit trails all the time with this curriculum. We've done this with every one of their programs that we've used. We have found subjects where we're really interested in, and so we kind of go off the beaten trail or down a rabbit trail, and we explore that more. And so this is actually worked into the textbook. There are spots that are called the rabbit trail section. So it's got a little rabbit at the start of the section, and it's just kind of a deep dive into a subtopic related to what you just read about. And then there's a little rabbit at the end that says, this is the end of the rabbit trail. And I love that little feature because, if you're, again, short on time, you could skip over that, but they're just fun little add-ons for your student. But it is fantastic. Now, it comes, like I said, as a PDF download, but they have provided information if you want to do a printed version. Last year when they released early American history at the junior level, there was a textbook included with that as well. Again, downloaded as a PDF. And a lot of people opted to get that printed and bound because it was just so beautiful. And, and it is easier for younger students, I think, to have a physical book sometimes than to be reading it on a computer or on an iPad. Like I have this downloaded onto my iPad so we could scroll through and look through it on there. But I am definitely going to splurge and get a printed version because it's just that pretty. Like I just want it. So there are a couple different places where you can go and you can get it printed. I will put a couple of them up here. Basically, you upload the PDF to those websites after you purchase it. And for some of them, you're going to have to provide something that you want to be the cover of it. So you could use the first page of the PDF, resize it down. I just hopped onto Canva and I created like a little cover for mine, and then you can pay to have it printed and bound and it'll come as a book. There were so many examples that people shared on the Guest Hollow Facebook pages of what they printed and how it came out, and they're beautiful. So I'm really excited to do that. They even worked with one company to have like a pre-uploaded version that's kind of all ready for you to click order on, so you can do that as well. So the textbook, if you are interested in just the textbook, is available as kind of an a la carte purchase. So I did purchase that. I am going to be working that in with my son's high school program, and it will follow along. It's the same topics, the same weeks. And I think what we're going to be doing is we're going to be subbing that out for a Patriots history, because we did a Patriots Guide to American History last year for his early American history program. And while it is a fine book, I mean, it's got a lot of good information, it was really a struggle for him to like keep his attention on it. And given that there's so many other reading resources, we are going to be subbing this textbook in to provide kind of that background information on the things that he is diving into on that given week. So I'm just really excited because I think it will work really well if you have younger students, but you can also work that in with your older students as well. So other great things about the Junior American History program, the book list. So their curriculum, what they will do is they'll have the spine book, which is in this case, the textbook, but there will be other books that are suggested for your student to read on different weeks. Now you don't have to do all of those books. They are ranked to help you decide which ones you're most interested in, but if you can work them in, they are fantastic. There are so many great books. There are a whole bunch of the who was and what was books. So they're the kind of the ones like who was, Teddy Roosevelt, for example, and so they're the ones that have like the big pictures of the heads and everything on them. You probably have seen these, but they're fairly quick reads for students. There's some Nathan Hale Hazardous Tales books worked into there, the I Survived books, some DK Eyewitness books, and you can choose to purchase these books and have them on hand. Maybe there is a couple that you'd really like to add to your home library, but you could also check them out at the local library. You could look for them on like online libraries for you to do. You could do them on Kindle. So there's lots of different ways that you can get these books, and you don't have to buy them all new. I hardly ever buy books new, and I choose to purchase like every recommended book known to man, but I tend to buy them used, and I can find some great deals on like Amazon and half price books. And so I can really add to our homeschool library without, spending a ton of money. Other things that you're going to see included in this curriculum will be links to online printables. There is no workbook that goes along with the middle grades program like there is with the high school program. So if you want to have some sorts of worksheets and things like that for your students to do, you can follow the different printable links. So most of them are just free printables you can download and print off. You could choose how you want to use them and how many you want to use, and you can work those in with your student. There's also activity options. So games are worked in. For example, Monopoly is worked in when you're talking about, well, monopolies. And so you can use that as like a family game night. Maybe, have the parent who's not the primary homeschooling parent play those games with your student. If there are recipes and cooking activities, you could have that other parent spend some time with your student and do that as well. Or maybe plan an activity day. Maybe you homeschool heavy, like 4 days a week, and like Fridays are your Friday fun days. And maybe on your Friday fun days, you're doing the crafts, you're doing the cooking projects, you're playing the games. You can really rearrange the schedule to what best suits you. And so all of those things are included in there. Just so many different options that you can choose from and have fun with. Now, what I really have liked is that you get a PDF version of the schedule. So that's going to have live links to all of the video options that are in there, links to purchase the books, links to the printables, all of that stuff. But the same thing comes also as a Word document. And this is something that you can edit. So this is great if you want to create something quick and easy for your student to follow along with. You can go through and you can just like delete the stuff that you're not going to do, or highlight the stuff that you are going to do, and then print that out, and you can kind of follow right along with that. So it makes it easy for you to kind of pick and choose and see how it is you've broken things up for your week and how much you have planned, and then make those adjustments if you want to. But I'm just really excited. I think this is going to be a great option for families who have a middle grade student and you'd like to introduce them to modern American history. It's also going to be really great if you happen to have kids who are both in middle school and in high school, because you can do some family style learning. For example, your high schooler is going to be doing the same topics the same week as your middle schooler if you have both programs, but obviously on different levels. So you could start together. Maybe you could read from the textbook, the Modern American History textbook. Read those excerpts together, talk about it, and then have your students split off and have your younger students do the things that are their age level and have your older students do the things that are their age level, and come back together to do some of the activities. Or again, if you're homeschooling like 4 days a week, do some activities together on your fun day at the end of the week. Now, a couple of questions that I'm sure you might have about this curriculum. What time period exactly is considered modern American history? Well, this picks up right at the 1900s and it continues all the way up to the most recent presidential election. So it is very current, and it covers heavily a lot of things in the latter part of the 20th century, which again, most curriculums for middle grades don't cover. So when I was flipping through the textbook, I was just really pleased to see all of the different things that are included on there. And I do have to say though, it's a bit weird when you look at a history book and you see things from your childhood in it. Let me just say that. I'm officially at that age where my childhood is in the history books. So, take that with a grain of salt, right? But it's awesome though, because there are a lot of things, from my own childhood, which I feel like are important for my kids to know and understand, because they're still going to impact their lives today. So, but this will cover, like I said, 1900s to right up to 2025. So it works out beautifully, because if you do the early American history, it's going to start at the discovery of the Americas, take you right up to the 1900s, and then this picks up and takes you forward. Some people will have concerns about the amount of reading that might be included, or at least the number of recommended books. And again, pick and choose which books you want to use. Obviously, this textbook is beautiful. You're going to want to use that. And you're probably going to want to incorporate some of the books that are considered to be like number 1, number 2 ranked books, but you don't have to do all of them. You can also have some of these count as your ELA or reading material. For example, Where the Red Fern Grows is included as an optional book to read. It's worked right into the schedule when it suggests that you read it. That is a fantastic book to have a middle schooler read. You could have them read that for their literature and English class, and maybe they write something up for it, or they do some of the questions related to it, and that is something that's helping them understand their history, but it's also counting for their English. If they are creating an art project for history, that is art time right there. So instead of having to, double up and figure out something for art class and figure out something for history, one project covering both subjects at the same time. So you can see how you can really make things flow together. I mean, we have done that heavily with high school. I talked last year about how we didn't purchase an English curriculum or a literature curriculum. We read the recommended novels from my son's high school history program as his literature books for that year. And we're doing the same thing with modern American history. So you could definitely choose to do that with your students. Have them do some of these extra readings for history, but count that as your reading time. Or if you have a goal for them to read so many books, or if you do like free reading time and quiet times and things like that, have them do some of those readings then. If there's a video you want everybody to watch, maybe you guys start off as a family in the morning and you watch some of those videos, or maybe during lunch while you're prepping lunch, they're sitting in there watching one of the videos or documentaries. Maybe on a family movie night, you're watching a recommended movie or a documentary. So you can see, like, you don't have to feel like you have to cram everything in, and you don't have to try to get it in a certain amount of time. You can really kind of make history and learning about history kind of just part of your family's routine, because it's so important and it's so much fun to learn about, and your student will understand our country's history so much better once they go through this program. Now, if you have very young children, have no fear, because eventually there will be an early student version of this, similar to what there is for the early American history. They have a version that's for the very young student, the middle grade student, and then the high school age student. And eventually we will see that with modern American history as well. And so you can do true family style learning with all of the age levels. But this, I think, is a great start. It's a great place to be able to have your middle school and your high school students be able to kind of work in conjunction to one another. Or if you just have a middle school student, you can have them do this as an introduction to modern American history. And having had a chance to kind of dive through it, and then again look at the high school program as I'm preparing that for my son, I think you could definitely look at doing modern American history in middle school or in 4th through 8th grade, and repeat it later on in high school, because again, the book levels, like the recommended books, are going to be very different for the students, and they're going to look at things from a different perspective as a high schooler than they will as a middle schooler. So you could introduce this in middle school, and then they can go even further and learn even more when they hit the high school course. Anyways, that is my introduction to the Junior Modern American History curriculum. I will link it down below where you can find it. I know that they are running a sale for the first couple of days that the curriculum is released, and then a couple of times a year they run sales on their programs. So if you have not picked up a history course for this year for your students, I would highly recommend checking this one out. I'm just really excited to see it. I cannot wait to get my printed textbook. I will definitely do a deeper flip through when it comes and show you it as we're preparing for the homeschool year, but it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be gorgeous, and I'm really excited to add that to the mix of books that my high schooler will be using. So check out the Junior Modern American History. If you have any questions about this curriculum or any of the other Guest Hollow products that we have used in the past, drop a comment down below. You can also check out my Guest Hollow playlist, where I have videos about all of the different curriculum from them that we have used, how they work, what's included, lesson planning examples, how I've gone through and prepared those things. I'm getting really excited because books are arriving for my son's high school program, and I'll do a book haul here soon to show you all of the different things we will be reading and using as resources for this upcoming year. Anyways, thanks so much for joining me for today's video, everybody. I will see you in the next one, and until then, happy homeschooling.